Hey YouTube! Out in the car again. I've no idea how I'm going to stitch these videos together. So my fuzz addiction knows no ends. I've just bought another fuzz pedal. I blame my pal Ivor. I was like, just buy it anyway. I might buy it off if you don't like it. So I've just bought it anyway. Going to where it was only meant to be 15 minutes away, but it's already taken me 10 minutes to get past, and I'm not even at the traffic lights, which should only be 2 minutes away, just because busyness, really annoying. These lights are a nightmare. It's like wherever there's a McDonald's right at this cross, and it's always 10 cars get let out at McDonald's, so no cars actually get through from the main road. So I'm a bit cheesed off about that, to be honest, because I should be there by now. Going to Muirhead, which if I'd been a bit cleverer when I saw this pedal yesterday, I would have phoned up about it at the same time as the guitar that I went to buy, and it was only 2 minutes along the road from this. The left-handed Strat, which I have just soapy water cleaned, and I am totally going through these lights anyway. Oh, I made it. That's it. Got the yellow and I'm already halfway across. Oh, the car behind me jumped as well. I didn't jump. And I did admit there that I probably would have if it had been going to yellow. Oh, good. There's an Arctic doing a 3-point turn in the middle of the road. That's always good. Traffic. It must just be, it takes 2 o'clock or something like that. It must just be the time of day. This is when everybody goes and buys a pedal. Yeah, so this one is an earthshaker Devices clone, an Acupulco Gold, which I've been looking up earlier on, and it's only got one knob, but this one's got 2 knobs apparently. This version of the circuit has a separate volume and gain, which is probably going to be useful. I'm kind of a wee bit worried it's going to be almost exactly the same as my Terminator pedal, my Gojira FX one, because it's a 1 knob pedal. I'm sure it was called a Meat Boy, which is a copy of something, but I don't really know. I mean, I think, to be honest, all fuzzies are a copy of something. Oh, I forgot to print out my Mad Malcolm guitars like and subscribe thing for there. I'll do that when I go home. I'll definitely try and remember. Yeah, but the reason what I'm thinking about this pedal is it's just a plain black enclosure, but it's got red knobs, and it's got one of those cap things on the switch, you know, the thing that makes the switch bigger. So I'm sitting there looking at it thinking this might be the Bucky Fuzz, because all I really need to do is peel off a Bucky label and sellotape it to it, and then it's the Bucky Fuzz. And if it's got red knobs anyway, which will tie in with the colour scheme. And the reason I was mentioning that foot switch capper thing is, I think I might cut the top. Bottle of Bucky's got like a crest on the top of the lid, so I might cut that out and super glue it to the top, so it's kind of got like a Bucky foot switch. I might do that anyway. Well, I'll probably do that anyway, regardless of whether I decide I like the pedal and whether I'm going to keep it. I really don't have any room for any more fuzz pedals, or any more pedals. I'm getting a bit mad into the fuzz though. The fuzz is fun. I do need some work to do though. If I'm going, I like the idea of using one for the band, but when I was down at Ali's the other day, I only played for 10 minutes. But it would be nice to get a bit of a jam. Just couldn't stop talking. Haven't seen each other for 6 months. So there's more to it than that, because I mean, I was running that wee 5-watt amp pretty hot, so it was kind of distorted anyway. And then when you put the fuzz in, it wasn't reacting the way I'm used to, because I'm obviously playing through my wee amp in the house at a very low volume, and it's very clean because it's such a low volume. Whereas if you got it up loud and it started to distort, I think some knob twiddling is involved. To make it do what I want it to do. So, and because I was only playing for 5 minutes, I didn't really get much chance to fiddle with the knobs. Also, I don't really know much about that. The Behringer Super Fuzz, it's got 4 knobs on it or 5 knobs on it, and a couple of switches, and I don't really know. I'm not really messed about with it. Oh, how did you manage to take so long? Sorry, that was somebody waiting. this roundabout. I did like their choice of car. They had a wee black paint Panda, exactly the same as mine. But they opted to wait until there was absolutely nothing on the roundabout, and then when there was space, take long enough to make sure that there's no way there's enough time for me to get out behind. So it's like, oh, there's a gap. Think about going into first gear. Going into first gear, slowly let up the clutch, crawling out. Yeah. My road rage knows no bounds. Kind of thinking that this guy's house is not far away from the big massive scrapyard. I'm trying to think of this end up. I used to go into the scrapyard and just look for things to stick on the car. It's like, the chances are there will be pandas in there. I don't think there's really anything I really need though. It's kind of, I think I've already sort of got a roof rack. I've got roof rails. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I just go for a wee walkabout, just out of sheer nosiness. Interesting. Okay, so this is I keep seeming to be, my videos I'm getting messed up with when to do them. I keep trying to do them ahead of time, so that I don't end up with I don't have time to put one out. But it's like I'm sitting here, I think I've got about 3 or 4 uploaded on YouTube ready to go, so I don't really need to worry about that. But I'm just trying to do it in order, because I'm very conscious of talking about things like for the first time, and the video I put out the day after that is like 4 days earlier, so I'm talking about, oh, look at this new thing I've got, but you've already seen me playing it and I've already fixed it up, sort of thing. I've got a couple of videos of me actually taking guitars to bits and stuff, but it's a pig to edit. I can't be bothered doing it. So I need to look into it a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm just talking nonsense now. I'll give you a shout if I see anything interesting. It's unlikely. There's not really much scenery to be seen today, although it is a nice day again. When I said that bit I was going to, I used to go to on my bike when I was out yesterday. It was just over there on top of that hill, basically about half a mile away from here, but in that direction. Yeah. It's the sort of thing I would find interesting, seeing street signs from somewhere or places I've never heard of. Also moderate because that's Auchinloch was on that sign, and I'm from Kirk, or just past Kirkintilloch, so there's some going on. Can't be a good. Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, this is a really badly designed, laid out part of the modern estates. Is obviously, I think what has happened is this is a non-adopted road, so to get around regulations, so it's awfully windy and sort of easy to get lost in. Scrappy's just round there. So I got my soon-to-be Bucky fuzz pedal. I need to look up this. I'm sure the guy's name was something Malcolmson, the guy who said made it. Apparently it's hand wired in Glasgow, and I had good results from that super fuzz that was that guy's. Where was he? Was it York or Newcastle or something like that? His uncle wired one. I bought it and then changed the switch on it because the switch was burst. I really liked that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the hand wired boutique market is the way to go. And saying that, I mean, all this is kind of coming from. I did like the twin note fuzz, so I still use it, even though I'm not really sure it's a fuzz. I don't, that was fine, but that wee Delamo one, I really like that. It's meant to be a fuzz face clone, but I mean, I don't know how much these things. It could be like the circuit's the same, but if you change a couple of components, it might be a very different sounding, you know, to the untrained ear like myself. It could be a very different sound. So this one I'm really not really sure what it is, but I'm just thinking Bucky lid cut out on that bit, Bucky label on it. I'm actually thinking of being a little bit more advanced. I'm not sure the pedal's big enough to take it. Actually just cutting up a Bucky label like taking it off, maybe do the small writing on the back, because I can get, obviously buck is already there. The Y, I can use a U. You know, I'm talking about, you know, cutting it up like the way a ransom note's cut up. I can cut up another label to use the U as the Y for Bucky, and then there's an F there, so that's the F for fuzz. There's already another U there. Well, that's 3 labels I need to use, isn't it? It's not that much fun peeling labels off bottles of Bucky. It's kind of more, it's one of the major time factors about making a Bucky caster. That's why I have the tendency to make iron brew ones, because the labels in them are just stickers, whereas the Bucky labels are glued on by superhumans, so it's dead difficult to get them off in one piece. Yeah, so to write, it would be nice if I could get actually cut up the labels to actually say Bucky Fuzz. Assuming it's going to be good, it might not be worth doing that too. It's like you're just looking at it and it's like, that's got red knobs, which will go well with the yellow label, and it's got that metal, the white stomp switch topper thing on it, which would take the, yeah. So I'm pretty uneventful. I seem to have done quite a few videos going to this direction. Things always come in threes, I suppose. So I bought the Yamaha APX just before Christmas. Just before Christmas, just before Christmas, because my car was on the road. Just there, I bought that Westfield just half a mile in that direction, and I just bought this pedal. So it's like this could be the Muirhead triangle for bargains. Just keep looking. I keep missing things. I nearly bought I don't know if I've mentioned this or not. I nearly bought a 5-watt PV tube amp yesterday, but luckily I missed it. I did mention it, but I don't think you've seen the video yet. It depends what day it is. Today is Friday, but how that ties into when the video goes up, I don't know. I've got another couple of videos sitting there. The thing is, a couple of the videos I've got sitting there are kind of like now coming up for 2 weeks old, so it's like, you know, I'll have short hair and everything. Not really. Last time I was had a haircut was in 1999. Yeah. To be honest, there's a slight element of scared if I cut it off, it won't grow back. Yeah, rocking. So maybe get some food on the way home. Yeah. Hey, I'm back at the house now. Well, that was yesterday. I was actually out picking up this. So, pedal. This is made by a guy called Andy Malcolmson, who's got a reverb shop. I just bought this yesterday. Hopefully I've managed to stitch this video onto the end of me going out and buying it yesterday. So it's a clone of an Acupulco Gold pedal. Apparently it's an earthquaker or earthshaker devices. It's normally it's only got one knob. This one has volume and gain rather than a sort of gain and volume in one. Yeah, it was kind of described as a sort of fuzz pedal, and it sort of is. I played it for 5 minutes yesterday, and yeah, but I think what it's originally meant to be is like is it a sun amp? I'm not really sure what that is, but it's meant to sound like a sun amp that's cranked up full, which is apparently big for stoner rock or something like that. I don't know how to play that unless Hawkwind stoner rock, which I'm not sure it is. So I'm using my Monolith, Eastwood Monolith guitar, which is a tail. It's got a fancy pickup in it. I should probably be demonstrating this using like the Strat or the SG, but I'm using this just because I want an excuse to play it. So there we are, just playing through the wee laney there. It's coming through that cabinet, the mic's up there, nothing else on. So there we are, volume and tone at very little, or volume and drive at very little. Don't really have neck and breast pickups in this one. But it says and all that, and I looked up some demo videos before I bought it to see what an Earthquaker device's Acapulco Gold sounded like. And it's meant for, you're meant to be able to, it's only normally got one knob, so you're meant to do everything with the volume control on your guitar, which does make a huge difference to the sound between sort of 3/4 volume and full volume. But there is definitely a sort of fuzz element to it. I'll try sticking a bit more gain on it, go for half a gain. The volume will probably go up quite a lot. Throttle it back a little bit. Also use a tone. Volume. Kill the volume a little bit, get a little more clean. Just volume. Try to get it full. It does sound like a fuzz. volume back up. Volume back up. So basically, yeah, it is. I'm finding that really rather quite a usable sound. I'm going to stick in the boring guitars just to it's like with a normal guitar. Not really sure exactly what the pickups in that monolith are. They're called the three positions are called steam hammer, ice pick, and pile driver, something like that. I think it's a P90 and a single coil wired in series. Yeah, so here's a Strat. This is the clean sound. As that was already making a much bigger difference to this guitar. Bridge pickup, neck pickup. Bit of this. Again, if I kill the volume bit. Push 4. More gain maybe? Well, it's kind of working with the Strat as well. I suppose I might as well try to really would have been a much more efficient way of doing this if I had just started with the Strat or the Les Paul rather than starting with that crazy guitar. So, Buckers. Yeah, so a clever person would have tuned this guitar before they started. Mind you, the sun's been shining on this morning, the sun came out today, so it's expanded somewhat. Because strings don't like temperature changes. They'll expand and contract. Okay, back on. Oh, the humbuckers sound quite different, don't they? Neck pickup. No tone. No, it's not over tune. I'll just give up at that. If a guitar's out of tune like that because it's heat, it's hot, then it's not holding quite well. Yeah, so as I said in the car, have some plans for this. Being a bit silly, really. I was thinking it's kind of one of the reasons I bought it. It's got red knobs, right? So that's kind of quite buckyish. So I was thinking, quadrumph, kind of bucky label on it. Yeah, well, I'll obviously sellotape that down properly, and see, because it's got this metal, how do you describe it, like a switch topper or something it's called. I suppose it's to make it easier to press. I was thinking, well, that sits on there quite nicely, doesn't it? So we could have like a bucky, I was thinking of calling it bucky fuzz. It's, even though technically it's not really a fuzz, I definitely do hear, it's not a fuzz, you know what I mean? It definitely does have fuzziness to it, and I quite like the name Bucky Fuzz. I've been meaning to do it for ages. There's another, a super fuzz pedal I've got there, which I was going to do the same thing with, but I haven't actually bothered. It was a little bit of effort, I had to move knobs and stuff. This one I'm basically just talking about sticking a Bucky label onto the top of it, and sticking that, super gluing that, the stomp switch so it's a Bucky one, and I think that'd be pretty cool. I suppose I could. In fact, actually, I don't know whether I should do that or not. I'm actually painting Bucky casters this afternoon, so I mean, I could paint the enclosure dark green. I think I might do that. That would make it a bit better, wouldn't it? If the enclosure was dark green, it had the Bucky label on it, had the Bucky top on it, and the red knobs. We're talking serious Bucky colours. I've got a Dymo labeler. So I was thinking of, you know, like making up, this is for sticking on the steering wheel of the car. I was going to, obviously it's got volume and gain, but I was trying to think of funnier things to put rather than volume and gain. I don't think there's enough room for me to write alcohol. I was thinking of just putting, I've already done volume. I was thinking of volume and tonic. Volume and alcohol, or alcohol and caffeine. But these are long words, which I don't think will fit on it. And then obviously I'll write Bucky Fuzz with that on it as well. But I think, looking at it, I think painting it green will just give it that little bit extra. It does look kind of funny being black. Yeah, so soon to be Bucky Fuzz pedal, and am I keeping it? I don't know. I mean, I have to say I'm finding that the definitely does have a fuzz element to it. Doesn't really sound like my current favourite pedal, just because it sounds so different, is my Delamo one, which it doesn't really sound like. Maybe it does a bit. Let's get more of a thing going on. See, that's a true fuzz. But then again, that's a twin note fuzz. And then it's a fuzz pedal, isn't it? I wonder what happens if I got the volume down at very little and then. Nah, I don't like that. So if anyone's got any good ideas for what to call the other knobs, we're talking about letters less than about 5. So alcohol's too long for the 2 knobs. And I'll play about with it more tonight, and then I'll think about whether I'm going to paint it green. One of the things the guy says on his website is he's like a no frills, doesn't put graphics and stuff on his pedals, and it's like, pure, that means I can. Eventually I do want to make my own line of Bucky Fuzz pedals. One of the things as well with the top is, you see that white light, I don't know if you're not really seeing it there, but it's incredibly bright, so the Bucky lid kind of half covers it, so it doesn't actually scorch your eyeballs out. It doesn't fully cover it, but it's just enough to save your eyeballs. So rock on. Strange thing about that is, though, like if you actually look at a bottle of Bucky, it's kind of, okay, this one's half full, but it sort of is black here. Okay, this bit's green when it's empty, but when it's so decisions. I will decide whether I'm going to paint it green or black over the next couple of days. I'm not going to rush it because I can't unpaint it green. I can, however, stick a Bucky label on with sellotape and just take it off again if it comes down to it. So rock on, happy Saturday. See you tomorrow at the live stream. I'll need to get myself a bottle of Bucky for that. I actually need to get myself a bottle of Bucky so I can get the labels off it, because I'm making 2 Buckmaster casters today. A right-handed one and a left-handed one. The gain control, when you've got it a bit less, seems to do. Sort of cleanish. There. Oh, there's a delivery coming. I'm not waiting for anything. Bizarre. Anyhow, catch you later. See you tomorrow. Last Sunday's live stream I had an absolute ball. It was great fun. I'm going to have my dinner first though, so I don't get quite so drunk quite so quickly. Catch you later. And any questions and stuff, either hold them in your head and ask me them then, or ask me them down below. Catch you later.